Before I start this video, I want to tell you all that this is a hard video for me to make because I'm a big fan of women and I don't think anyone has the right to tell you what to or not to do. Now with that being said, there are some things that girls should not do. There are some traits that girls have or specific things certain girls do that is just wildly unattractive. Some of these would even stop me from wanting to just be your friend. So please, for yourself, listen to these tips. And if you find that you do some of them, maybe consider starting to take some steps to change. Before you get mad, just listen to what these things are. I think hopefully a lot of you will agree with me when I explain myself. So let's just get this over with, shall we? Here's 10 unattractive things that girls do. Number 1 is have yellow teeth. Personal hygiene is way too important to not mention. If you don't brush your teeth consistently, people can tell, and it can be very distracting. It says that you don't take care of yourself and you don't care about how you look. And I don't want to be your mom, but I mean, come on, you should know this already. Smiling and being happy are just very attractive things in general, and you take so much away from that when you smile, it looks like you have a lemon peel in your mouth. And this also ties in to the second thing on this list, and that is bad breath. Bad breath is a huge turnoff because there's nothing worse than seeing a girl that you think is funny and smart and cool and then getting within 5 feet of her and smelling what must be garlic cloves dipped in vinegar and tuna because that's how bad it smells. But I mean, obviously there's a time and a place where this is more bad than at other times. Like if you're out and you're with people who are all eating something that's gonna give you bad breath, so be it. That's what it is. And if you're in a long-term relationship with someone, at this point, they probably ate the same thing, or at least they don't care, like whatever, you guys are serious, it doesn't matter there. But early on into dating someone, it's just the worst idea you could possibly have. And in general, you know, brushing your teeth consistently and maybe chewing a piece of gum should make you basically presentable in most situations. And think about it, I mean, if you're out with a guy that you're really into and your breath is terrible, he's not gonna ever wanna kiss you. Wouldn't it be so much better to have amazing breath that would draw him in? Another thing that's gonna make him pause before ever considering kissing you is a big problem right now, specifically in the winter, and that is cracked or dry lips. I assume that you'd probably not want dry or cracked lips on a guy that you're about to kiss either, right? Let's go over the short list of words people never want to associate with kissing, shall we? Dry, cracked, skin flake, terrible, Sahara Desert, vomit. The last one's not really related to dry lips, but hey, still applies. Good news is, this is an easy fix. Just buy chapstick and try not to lick your lips when you're in the cold. And bada boom, bada bing, now you got them good kissing lips. Anyway, physical stuff aside, the rest of this list is gonna get into things that are a little less surface level. Number 4 on this list is having no life, and this one is really important. By no life, what I mean is that aside from dating someone, there's nothing else going on in your life. And you're just always available and eager to see the person that you're dating again. And don't get me wrong, you know, enthusiasm is great, but having no personal life, like not hanging out with friends or having a job to go to or school to attend, literally doing nothing but waiting for this dude to be free, that is a huge turnoff. Because now we have to be the source of all that is fun in your life, or we'll just feel bad that you're not having fun anywhere else. And now we feel guilty for doing other things and hanging with our friends if you're just waiting for us to be done. So please, I shouldn't have to say this, but have a life. Don't give one person your entire world. Have friends and interests and go out and do things. There's more to the world than just dating. 5 on the list is being conceited. Don't get me wrong, confidence is a huge turn on, but if you go way too far with it, then it becomes conceited, and that is a bad thing. I think it's fair to say it can be a bit of a blurry line between being confident and excited or having a big ego. So let's just go over a few things. If you talk down to people, either talking in a condescending way or treating people that you don't know poorly. Like I've been out with girls who have absolutely no respect for the waiter at a restaurant, and that is the biggest turnoff I've ever had. Because it's just rude. There's also constantly interrupting people because you think that what you have to say is always more important. Never being able to admit when you're wrong or that you need help. And just in general, making everything about you. This is a really big one and a huge turnoff because no one wants to feel inferior to someone else. I can't stress this enough, this is a really big one and a huge turnoff because no one wants to date someone who makes them feel inferior to them. Another really unattractive thing that girls can do, and number 6 on this list, is just be a very negative person. Making everything seem like it's awful is just a terrible way to look at the world, but worse, it's a contagious attitude. If you're around people long enough and constantly blaming bad things on other things, it can eventually affect other people's moods. Also, if you constantly need reassuring and being cheered up, then maybe you're just unhappy or depressed. And honestly, I don't believe that it's really fair to start dating someone if you're going through depression, because when you're in a relationship, your problems become their problems as well. And your depression is a big problem to give someone. Also, it puts them in a situation where they know that they can't leave the relationship without making it so much worse for you. I just think in general, if you're not happy with yourself prior to being in a relationship, then you probably shouldn't just be in a relationship. 7 is being too agreeable. And honestly, this is probably the most common and relatable thing on this list, because I know so many people, actually guys and girls, who are just willing to compromise everything that they stand for when they're around someone who they really like or find really attractive. And you should not do this. First of all, when you do it a lot, guys can tell. And it really makes them lose respect for you, because it says that you impressing them is more important than what you want. And personally, I think disagreeing on some things is great. Like, let's not get into politics maybe on a first date, but you're allowed to not like my favorite band or not watch my favorite TV show. In fact, I would go so far as to say that I really enjoy disagreeing with someone on a date, because it means that they know what they stand for, and I respect the hell out of them for that. Whatever it is they stand for. That's dope. Ooh, we are getting close to the end here. Number 8 on this list is girls who obsess over their appearance. This can kind of fall into being conceited, like we talked about earlier, but there's just so much more that goes into it. Being obsessed with how you look shows that physical features are the most important thing to you. And honestly, I think being physically attractive is a solid 30% of the whole attraction mix. Because sure, you can be physically attractive, but if that's all that you have going for you, you're gonna be incredibly boring to talk to and just not at all fun to be around. The problem is that people who obsess over their looks and the looks of other people are generally pretty shallow people. They focus more on their Instagram profile than they do on a good conversation, and it gets old really fast. And for the record, this has nothing to do with wearing makeup or anything like that. Do that to your heart's content. This is just about your values, and if you value appearance more than personality, then I value the door more than you should walk through it. Ooh, that didn't really work. Moving on. 9 on this list is a general lack of inquisitiveness. That is a big word, so let's break it down for a second, shall we? Basically, thinking that you know everything, assuming that you are right in all situations. It's a huge turnoff for myself and every other guy I know, because even if you did know everything, which you don't, it's just incredibly condescending. And a lack of inquisitiveness also means that you're just not curious about new things. Which goes without saying is a huge buzzkill when dating, because the whole thing is about doing stuff that's fun and hopefully some of the time new to experience together. And if you're not willing to step outside your comfort zone a little, then everything has to always be your way, and that's no fun. And finally, the last unattractive thing that girls can do is to never take the lead. I don't want to always decide everything for us. I don't want to be the first person to start talking about making plans or send that first text every single time. Relationships are supposed to be equal, and you being very indecisive makes it very unequal. Also, I find when people don't want to take the lead, it's because they want to put the other person first, which is a sweet gesture, but really, if you never say what you want, then that's just gonna lead to you being unhappy. And no one wants that. So do everyone a favor and just say what you goddamn want. Anyways, that was it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed it, let me know by giving it a big old thumbs up. Also, tell me in the comments, what's an unattractive thing that guys do that turn you off? Let me know down below so I can change myself completely. Last week, I asked you guys what are some unattractive clothes that guys wear during the winter, so right now on screen are some of my favorite comments from that video. And remember, if you want to be featured at the end of next week's video, make sure that you leave your comment down below. I want to give a huge shout out over on Instagram to Himani for liking a ton of my photos. Thank you for that, Himani. I appreciate you. Also, Verena, who just went to town. I think she liked literally everything I posted, which is absolutely nuts. You guys, I don't know, I have time for that. And finally, Salome, who is a new follower and also spammed the living hell out of me. You guys are crazy. I love you. Go check them out, follow them. And if you want to get an Instagram shout out from me, it's so easy. All you have to do is follow me on Instagram, like a bunch of my photos, maybe leave some nice comments, turn on notifications, stuff like that. And I go through my activity and choose 3 random people for each video. My Instagram is just Andrew Quo, super easy to remember. That's what it looks like sometimes. Link will be in the description below. I don't know if you want to do that, that'd be cool. That'd be neat. We could be friends. Finally, subscribe to me for more videos. If you want more advice right now, click over here. And with all that being said, I'll see you next time. Peace!